Hello, I am Pastor Matthew Verhoeg from the Valley Alliance Church, and I'd like to explain and apply Luke chapter 5, verses 1 to 11 for you in 3 minutes. This is the story of Jesus calling Peter away from his fishing trade to become his first disciple. The story begins with Jesus teaching the crowds, and Jesus makes use of Peter's boat as a matter of convenience to get away from the crush of the crowds. It begins, and when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out to the deep and let down your nets for a catch." And Simon answered, "Master, we toiled all night and took nothing, but at your word I will let down the nets." I really kind of wonder what the facial expressions were in that boat. Like right at the moment, precisely when Jesus, the son of a carpenter, turns to Peter, the captain of the boat, and suggests that they go out a little deeper and try one more cast. Yet, there's something about the faith that Peter shows here. It might not be much. It might be skeptical, but it's just enough for him to take Jesus at his word. At your word, I will let down the nets. Faith begins by believing in Jesus' word just enough to act on it. Peter is skeptical, but still does what Jesus says. This is how we all come to faith. Faith and skepticism are always bouncing around in our hearts, but saving faith begins by believing in Jesus' word and acting on it. So Peter, in faith, puts down the nets. And when they had done this, they enclosed a large number of fish, and their nets were breaking. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. This is the one fact about the person that Jesus uses that we need to understand. God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. God calls all kinds of people to his work. He calls the sinner, he calls the coward, he calls the young, the old, the weak, the poor, the outcast, but God will never exalt the proud. It ends with Jesus' call. He says to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching men." And when they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. Jesus gives Peter a new mission, a new life, a new hope. And in response, Peter leaves everything behind. This is still how Jesus calls the humble to mission today.